All right. Who here has been to a beach infested with oil or have seen animals covered in oil? Okay, well, I haven't. But being somewhere at this thing called Google, I was able to secondhand experience it. It's pretty horrible. Well, within the past few decades, environmental issues have been more relevant to our lives as now we're growing in the era where we stand up for the earth. One problem for the earth right now is oil spills. Within the past 2 years, there have been 5 oil spills, and this is excluding the BP oil spill in 2010, which everyone heard about. Well, my credibility as the speaker is that I used Google, the research I've done, and in my junior year of high school, I passed my AP exam with a 3 for environmental science. And today, I'm going to be talking about how oil spills have long-term effects on the world. First, I will be talking about how oil spills affect coral, how it affects other inhabitants of the sea, and how it affects humans. Okay, go on. Okay. Coral reefs are large groups of coral that house various types of life. And in the fall of 2012, Oceanus reported that oil spills do have an effect on coral, as there have been coral in proximity of an oil spill. There have been effects such as brown residue left on coral. There have been stress on coral and tissue loss. Since coral reefs play such a large role in the ecosystem, this is really detrimental to the sea and proved to have long-term effects. The connection is clear, as since coral reefs are so close to the oil spills and there have been brown residue similar to how oil is, that's the connection. And since there have been studies by Oceanus talking about how they have studied the brown residue and linked it to the oil spills. And then I'll be talking about how oil spills affect sea life. So, on April 4, 2012, the Oil Spill Intelligence Report reported that due to recent oil spills, 714 dolphins and whales have been stranded in the Gulf and unable to continue their normal life cycle and continue their role in the ecosystem. And as you can see, they're dolphins swimming in oil-infested waters. And the effects of oil spills on dolphins include dolphins becoming anemic, being underweight, and unable to breathe. And as they do play a large role in the ecosystem, this upsets the whole balance of the ecosystem and will probably ring throughout the next few decades. Next, I'll be talking about how oil spills affect humans. Due to oil spills recently, people living on fishermen settlements or any village near a sea around oil spills, they're unable to continue their normal trade of fishing as fishes are being affected by oil, and no one wants to eat oil. Fishes affected by oil because due to various effects on their health. And tourist attractions. People really don't want to go. People want to go to areas around the sea that are nice and healthy, but due to oil spills, they're unable to do this. And from there on, it affects the economy around the village and the world as a whole for fishes. And recently, Obama, he responded to the BP oil spill with a $10 billion reparation fund, and from there on, when taxes are used when taxes are used on this, obviously taxes are going to be raised due to money being used by the government. And now that I've talked about all my main points, I will be concluding my speech. Okay, and this is a map of the whole oil spill in just one day of the 7 days that the oil spill has been going on. This is the Gulf of Mexico, and this is Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. And as you can see, due to legend, that's just a small area of it is just 10 miles, so it spans out for much more. And in conclusion, oil spills do have a large effect on the world. It affects coral, it affects sea life, it affects humans. And in the future, when you hear about an oil spill, it's better not to think that only beaches are being affected and things on the beach are being affected, but everything in the sea and the whole world.